win or lose the debate, you always win in you. And the moment will always challenge you to live up to who and what you say you are. You can beat somebody else in a debate, but you'll never beat the moment in debate. When you're in them key situations and circumstances, then you'll see what your real philosophy is. Then you'll see what you stand for. And the person you debated with, that you were so victorious over, that you won, that circumstance going to pop up in front of you. And you're going to be like, wait a minute now. And the other person's position will come up in your mind. Wait. Now you're debating with your damn self. Which was who the debate was in the first place. Because if you're absolutely clear about your position, what you stand for, there's no debate. No man's here to change no other man. We're here to enlighten and make our decision available. To make a decision available. We ain't trying to change men. Women have been unsuccessful as that for the last 50 centuries. Cannot change a man once they become sure in themselves. That's it. If that's not the case, they're not men. So we're not here to change men off their deed, their way, their decision, their goal, what they make. We're just here to offer an enlightenment to say, you know what, this is the way we did it. This is how the energies in us moved us to go about it. And this is a way that is available. But at the end of the day, your situations and circumstances will reflect the decision that you made. Whether I'm right or wrong. Whether you right or you wrong. If you're wrong and I'm right, me being right won't save you. You feel what I'm saying? If you wrong and I'm right, if you right and I'm wrong, you being right ain't gonna save me. So we win nothing. And still we gotta put on our own shoes and lace them up and walk in them. Am I right? Irregardless. So we're not perfecting that type of an illusion. So you gotta be decisive. So in that, you're glad when somebody debates with you. Because now you get to honestly look at everything. If you're analytical, if you want to make the best decision, we know you're going to make whatever decision you're going to make. But if you want to make the best one, for that moment, you at least can look at everything. Because you're going to have to look at it. Am I right? When the shit happens, you got to look at everything now. Even if you didn't see it before. After it happens, you really got to look at everything. But if you can look at it before, now you know how you prepare to go into the reality of the situation with the best possible response. That's it. That's it. So we welcome debate. Because that destroys the idiocy and the over-emotional, ridiculous approach. Where people are just operating completely out of emotion with no rationality. That should be challenged. We're not doubting what people are capable of doing. We're not doubting that. We know we're among gods. But our godship is in our power to rationalize. God is rational. God is intelligent. So our divinity must be in our intelligence and in our rationality. And not just in our emotions. The fool is very emotional. Quick to respond and react to any little given situation or circumstance. So debate challenges us to become multi-dimensional in our perspective so we can see the totality of the situation. But our decisions, at the end of the day, belong to us. And even if we've won a debate, don't think the person you have debated with has the integrity and the fortitude of the position. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because even though you might be right, and they may accept that you're right, that doesn't mean they have the fortitude to walk in them shoes, man. Because it's not purely intellectual. And this is where I get into the context, or the content that I want to speak on tonight. About self-realization. I was watching a lecture the other night by Dr. Wesley Muhammad called The Theology of the Black God. And he was talking about God in a historical sense, talking about Kemet. And he was tracing the historical information of the Black God. Notice I said that he was tracing the information of the Black God. But in watching this lecture, I came to realize that there's no theology of a black God. There's only an embodiment of a black God.
How you teach?
Embodiment. We can philosophize all damn day long. We can read books and look at characters and stick men if we feel like it. It's a reality. We can get coloring books and we can sit there and color in the black gods in the damn book. But that's not the reality of the black God. It is an embodiment. And we realize the existence and the divinity of the black God in the moment. Of the situations and circumstances of which the power is manifested through us and in the circumstances that we move through. Let me give you an example of that. Some people go through situations and they'll swear that they found Jesus because of the situation they went through. Oh, I made it through that. Jesus saved me. You can't tell me nothing about Jesus. I prayed and got through that. So that means their relationship to Jesus has no theological content. It's purely emotional, based on their interpretation of a circumstance they went through, overlaying a religious paradigm on top of it. I was in that car when it crashed, and I prayed, and Jesus sent somebody. I think somebody was coming anyway, man. You know what I'm saying? But this is just I was on crack. No, that doctor's warning them that you was about to die got your ass off that crack. Wasn't Jesus. When you owed that man some money, he almost killed your ass. That beating. That beating got your ass off of it. You understand what I'm saying? But my whole point in saying that is to make a point that circumstance allow people to experience truth, not theology. So Christians are not Christians because of the Bible and because of their pastor. They're Christians because they was in such horrifying situations. The only thing that they could call on in the moments was what they knew of, and it was Jesus. If it was Krishna, they would have called on that. If it was Buddha, whatever they would have knew, they'd have called on their mama and their daddy. If it had not been ingrained in their psychology to call on Jesus. But my point is those circumstances made people realize something divine. They called it Jesus. My whole point is that divinity is realized through circumstances. You cannot historically realize God. You cannot theologically realize God. You cannot philosophically realize God. But those experiences that will challenge your intellectual position, the experiences will challenge your rationality, where you know there's got to be something more to this. Now you're realizing God. Some of them, when them situations happen, can't go deeper than the Bible. That's fine. Some of them can't go that far. Some of them can go metaphysical. Due to the level of consciousness that they have, they can go deeper into the fabric of the universe to interpret and understand situations. Some people can't. Oh, it was Jesus. Some of them can break down the astrology, the year, the date, the numerology. They can connect it to every aspect of the universe because that's the level of intelligence that they operate on. Some of them, it was Jesus. That's it. So my point is the divinity of God is recognized through experience. So we, being God realized, have created a circumstance that if people come into it, out of their quest for truth, they will find themselves at the videos we make him available. But it's not our promotion that brings people to truth. It's their sincere quest to find out. And out of their sincere quest to find out, which meets our sincere quest to reach them.
Right.
When them 2 points meet, then that's the point that matters. That's the point that matters. So out of their quest for this knowledge, they find us. And out of us being gods, we have created an environment of truth. We have decorated this house with truth. Our food is flavored with truth. We sweeten our tea with truth. You follow what I'm saying? Everything in here is truth. The way we go about this whole thing is embodying the reality of truth. So out of the desire from that, they will find themselves attracted to this environment out of a desire to know and experience what's real. They look up and find themselves here. And this very environment begins to cultivate them. Not just us talking, but the situation of gods as gods that we have walked into. Follow me with this. In the Moore Science Temple of America, they say a master just doesn't point the way. A block of wood could do that. A master leave their footprints clearly cut so you can see where they went and know that's the way to go. That's an important point. So when they come here, gods are walking this way. You walking behind them. You're not walking behind them as followers. They just didn't ran up the path. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It ain't a follower type thing. People can be going in the same direction. They're not following each other. It's just somebody is up front on the path. So if you're walking the way these gods have went, can you avoid what you have to go through to be a god? Walking in the direction gods have walked. A god might run into the jungle. If you follow the god there, the jungle will make you a god. Because you have to be God to walk through it. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now the God could be talking to you all the time. But it ain't just his conversation. He in the jungle and you there with him. And snakes is coming at you. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Poisonous scorpions. So you got to become a God and become aware. So imagine the student with the disciple. The student with the master. Sitting in the forest. I want the teachings. And I went through this with people before. That's why I can use this analogy so greatly. I want the teachings. I want the secrets of this information. Give me the secrets. So they sit there with the master all the time. Learn nothing. They're unable to decipher the deep truth that is being articulated. But all the time the jungle is testing their ass. Because the jungle made him a god, the master. You feel me? So if you go where the master have went, then you're made by what made the master. While you look into the master, what made him is making your ass. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? The universe makes gods because that's its dominant personality. Did I lose y'all with that? The universe itself makes gods because that's its dominant personality. That's the only aspect of itself that will survive, is the God consciousness. God is the personality of the universe, manifested in man. Manifested in the type of man, the prototype of man, that can become victorious over the low level of circumstances that occur. Y'all follow me with that? Certain circumstances break people down. Only certain type of men gonna stand on the other side of them. That is the personality of the universe. Because that's all you remember. So many, and I mentioned this last week, there were so many people in Kemet. You only remember a handful of them. Thousands of people. We got 1 billion people on the earth today, and we eating wrong. How many people you think it was in Kemet? But we remember 10 niggas. Uncle None. In hotel. Literally. But though it wasn't that those were the only people there.